after Melissa Jefferson's blazing world lead at the Grand Slam track Philadelphia. Can Jamaica's Tia Clayton defeat her over 100 meters? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, when you're ready, yep, good to go. Well, we know you are already aware of these pictures, but have you seen the Essence video? Pictures taken of Olympic and world champion in the men's 100 meters, the American sprinter Noah Lyles, and his soon-to-be wife, the Jamaican beauty, like most Jamaican women, Janelle Broomfield. Now, we had to share this with you. You've seen the pictures, but have you seen the video? Unfortunately, we can't give you the sound. Noah, you are a very fortunate man, sir. You are getting a Jamaican queen. Jamaican women are very, very special, sir. All of them are stunningly beautiful, remarkable human beings. I'm not saying that they're not beautiful women all over the world, but trust me, boss, when you get a Jamaican queen, you have truly won in the race of life. Congratulations to you both. Now, sprinter Shanoya Douglas was recently honored by her community. The Jamaican Observer reported residents of New Haven Heights in Trelawney paid tribute to one of their brightest stars, rising Jamaican sprint sensation Shanoya Douglas, with the unveiling of a commemorative sign bearing her image at the entrance of the community during an official ceremony held on Sunday. Residents included family members and representatives of her Granville Primary and Infant Alma Mater. And Mushet High School expressed their pride in the accomplishments of the budding track star. And the truth is, she has really been on a tear since the last 2 years. Douglas is a multi-gold medalist from the Easter Boys and Girls Champs. She also recently became the sprint queen, the sprint double queen at this year's Carifta Games, winning both 100 and 200 meters. And last year at the World Under-20s came third, running against two Olympians nonetheless, both young ladies who competed at the Paris Olympic Games
as well, and has managed to get herself on even terms with Hodge, and it is these two into the straight. Douglas fighting with the inside lane of America for third, but Hodge now pulling away from Tori Lewis. She upgrades that silver to a gold medal in this tour.
We have also said on several occasions here at Peter Lloyd World that Shanoya Douglas is definitely one to watch. She has, it's not just the raw talent that she has as a sprinter, 400, flat 4, the 200 and 100 meters. I mean, she's really, really, really remarkably talented. But what I think I'm most impressed about this young lady is her winner's spirit, her fighter's spirit. She just doesn't give in. She's not one of those persons. She's not easily rattled. When you saw at the Carifta Games recently, she had the maturity of a seasoned vet. Nothing fazed her. When her compatriot Sabrina Douglas unfortunately false started in the 100 meters final. Shanoya Douglas, she did not allow it to rattle her. Incredibly young talent, and I am very proud that the people in our community at such a young age have decided to give her this honor. Remember, young Shanoya Douglas, you will now have to live up to the expectations of the people in this community. You are now a bright beacon of hope for all the youngsters in that community.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
At the recently held Grand Slam track Philadelphia, Melissa Jefferson astounded the world, blazing to a remarkable world-leading time of 10.73, a new personal best for her in that event, as well as a world-leading time. She is now the fastest woman thus far for the 2025 season over the women's 100 meters. Now, this time makes her one of the top 10 fastest women all time in the 100 meters. This is a serious time. And Jefferson has been getting better since her debut at the Grand Slam track in Kingston, Jamaica at the National Stadium. So we have had to ask the obvious and clear question. Can Jamaica's fastest female sprinter over the 100 meters for the 2025 season, and to be honest, for the 2024 season, one half of the twin turbo, the remarkable Tia Clayton, who also held the world lead just about 3 weeks ago in this distance, can she defeat Melissa Jefferson over 100 meters?
7. And they get away first time, and look at Jefferson. Wooden already got a big start. Gabby Thomas 2 meters behind at this point. Tamara Davis going well in second, but miles ahead of everybody. Jefferson Wooden 10.74.
Oh my God, no way.
Melissa Jefferson's run there was truly dominant, almost as dominant as the perennial presence of Jamaican female sprinters and male sprinters in the short sprints. The truth is, Jamaica has responded to every threat in the 100 and 200 meters over the last 30 years, often walking away with the win. So we think that this young lady, Tia Clayton, could be the answer to what might become a Melissa Jefferson problem. Young Tia Clayton, who is now the fastest Jamaican female over the 100 meters thus far for the 2025 season, blazed in Doha to a remarkable world-leading time then of 10.92 seconds in the women's 100 meters.
Gambunji gets a much better start than Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, and also going well is Tia Clayton. Tia Clayton's just got this one at the moment. Van der Veken is close. It's going to be very tight on the line, but Clayton's going to get this. It's Tia Clayton, 10.92. Well, I said she's been running very well, and she's overtaken her sister career-wise, but now she's overtaking everybody else, and in fact her...
Now, currently, the 3 fastest women in the world are Melissa Jefferson with that 10.73. In the second fastest woman is this young lady, Tima Godbless, with her time of 10.91 that she ran very recently. And of course, Tia Clayton with her 10.92. Now, Melissa Jefferson. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. Jefferson has had a very interesting trajectory regarding her sprint career in recent years. And when she ran at the Jamaican version of the Grand Slam track, she declared that this was going to be a new Melissa Jefferson. And the fact of the matter is, she has delivered on that promise. We have seen her run consistently well in these last 3 races, both in the 100 and, let me quote, 200 meters. But of course, we are concentrating here on the 100 meters. Now, if you take a look back at that 100 meters and quickly analyze what we saw, 3 things stood out. First, her start was impeccable. She was up on the entire field within the first 25 meters. By the 50-meter mark, she was ahead by half a meter. And as you saw, she seemingly accelerated throughout, just lengthening the distance between herself and the rest of the field. Very, very interesting. 2, her confidence in the execution. In fact, her confidence has only grown since we started seeing her run at the Grand Slam track. This being her third 100-meter in the series, the one here at Philadelphia where she set this world lead. She's clearly very, very confident. She's running like an athlete who knows this is my time. She kind of reminds me of a Shericka Jackson 2 years ago over the 200 meters, or a Sha'Carri Richardson 3 years ago, or a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in 2022 at World Championships. An athlete knows when they're on, and I think Melissa Jefferson knows that she is on. The third thing that I think we should truly note was in her execution, her transitions were flawless. They were, just go back and look at the race. This is a different Melissa Jefferson, as she herself has admitted. Now, although we are concentrating on the 100 meters, it is imperative to state that she beat the reigning Olympic champion, Gabby Thomas, and her fellow American, in the women's 200 meters, also at this same Grand Slam track, running a new personal best of 21.99 seconds. To do so, and she didn't just barely beat her, she beat Gabby Thomas. This speaks to her overall fitness and her overall sprinting prowess. As I said, this is a new Melissa Jefferson that cannot be taken lightly. Now, let's move on to Tia Clayton, Jamaica's best performing female sprinter thus far for the 2025 season. With her world-leading time of 10.92, it is imperative to understand that her personal best in the 100 meters far exceeds this 10.92. Last year, we saw her set down a mark of 10.86, and at this time of year, she seems to be only getting better. From the beginning of the 2025 season, we have seen a completely different Tia Clayton. Again, matching Melissa Jefferson, there is that supreme confidence of self. If you go back and look at her Doha 10.92 world leading sprint, you will realize the same 3 things that we saw in Jefferson. 1, she was up on the entire field within that first 25 meters. Once she hit 50 meters, she separated herself from the pack, meaning Tia Clayton, and there was no looking back. She beat a remarkable field, including the incredible greatest of all time, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, her sister Tina Clayton, Mujinga Kambunji, and others, in no uncertain terms. She beat them. She beat them. 2, the manner in which she executed this race was solid, not flawless, but the transitions were really, really well executed. Of course, she could always improve, as could Melissa Jefferson. The third thing that you have to understand and note is the confidence. As I said, Tia Clayton from 2025 is not the Tia Clayton who ran the third fastest time last year at the Paris Olympic Games, but unfortunately did that in the semifinals. This young lady is much more mature, much more in charge, and like a Melissa Jefferson, she knows she is winning right now, as Agent Sasko would say. She's on a streak, and you can see the confidence just bubbling over. Now, there's something that I myself have fallen in love with regarding Tia Clayton's execution in her 100 meters race. Go back and look at her Doha Diamond League world leading time run of 10.92. Her strong drive phase, her composure, as well as her ability to close and close well. We saw this even last year. Her capacity as a sprinter has grown in leaps and bounds, and I'm telling you, I absolutely love to see the combination of how composed she is as such a young person. She's like, 20 years of age? And the execution of her race, particularly that drive phase. And if she has to close, she closes with absolute confidence. This is supremely important in a sprinter, people. I've often said to you, the difference between a great sprinter and a solid sprinter, a superstar sprinter and a awesome sprinter, is really that mental place. And clearly, Tia Clayton is in the right place. She understands, she trusts her body, she trusts her coaching, she trusts the process. And you can see it. Always composed. Like I said, since the beginning of 2025, she's just a completely different athlete. Now, of course, I can't mention Tia Clayton without speaking about the fact that her sister Tina Clayton, who came second in that Doha race, it seems to me that we are seeing in real time that generation of new female sprinters come to the fore. So I had to say that. Big up yourself, Tina Clayton. Now let's get back to this analysis. So, how would a race between Melissa Jefferson of the United States and Tia Clayton of Jamaica unfold? Let's try this. Now, if we look at race exposure and experience, Jefferson trumps Tia. She has much more race experience. But the fact of the matter is, in terms of the world stage, we're really just now seeing the best of Jefferson. Tia Clayton last year freely admitted after her run at the Paris Olympic Games that she was just inexperienced, and that experience, as well as her coach, Stephen Francis, conceded that that inexperience was one of the reasons why she probably did not end up in the medals at the finals, in the finals of the women's 100 meters at the Paris Olympic Games. So Jefferson does have that experience over Tia, which gives her an edge. However, I must add that Tia Clayton has had numerous experience as a world under 20 athlete. She has run in some of the, world under 20 record-breaking 4x1s, the ISA Boys and Girls Champs. I mean, for you to survive that says everything, Carifta and others. So she does not lack experience, and she has always exhibited the kind of composure that we are now seeing in her pro years. So in a way, this would sort of equate both athletes. And I believe since Tia Clayton went through that experience at the Paris Olympic Games at the highest level where she was nervous, we have not seen any indications of that since her opening runs in 2025 where she was running those 60s. She has been composed throughout. So I kind of think they may be both almost equal where that is concerned. Now, the start. Jefferson seems to have the better start. But as I stated, Tia Clayton has an amazing drive phase, and she closes, I think, better on the opposition. So in a race like that, Tia Clayton could possibly run her down if Melissa Jefferson is ahead. But then there's the obvious fact. One has a PB of 10.73, which is a seriously fast time. That is a no-joke time, meaning Melissa Jefferson. And the other best PB so far is 10.86. And that does lead to a sort of disparity. But if Tia is already at this time running a 10.92, which she was not doing last year when going towards the Jamaica National Championships, then it would appear to me that she could easily better her 10.86. That's her PB is actually 10.86. She could better her 10.86. So given the right motivation, I think she could improve her times. But could she improve it to a 10.73? I'm really not certain. That may be a big ask. Now, the other thing is that both women are supremely confident in their capacity or abilities at this point. We have seen Tia Clayton take on some of the best on the planet, including the greatest female sprinter who has ever lived, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and she did not look phased or perturbed. Jefferson is beginning to sound like someone who like Neo. Yeah, I don't know, I clearly like that movie in The Matrix. Jefferson is beginning to believe, and hence the times that we're seeing. So a matchup between both of these women, I think, outside of the fact that Jefferson has the upper hand in terms of her PB at this point in time, but Tia has progressed immensely in the last 12 to 18 months. So I do think I personally have said she's going to lower her PB this year, given the right circumstances. And I have said in the past that I believe that PB is going to be a sub 10.80. If she's pushed under the right conditions, given her mental strength and fortitude, I think we could see her run close to 10.75, 10.77. So at this point, it's hard to say who would win, but I have to concede that based on just sheer experience and based on PB, I would have to say Jefferson would have this slight edge. I'm not saying one would beat the other, but I'm saying based on the numbers, Jefferson would have the slight edge. But once again, I have to say, given Tia Clayton's fighting spirit and her never say die, this one is hard to call people. Who do you think, Royals? Who do you think? Who would you give the win to in a situation like this? Now, I think some big moments are coming up. The U.S. national trials for Jefferson. Has she peaked too early? It's a question that I have asked in the past. And clearly, Tia does look as if she's close to peaking. Has Jefferson hit her peak? And if she has, is she able to maintain this? If Jefferson can get to the U.S. national trials and run something close to 10.73, she'll definitely be in that top three. Now, Tia. Can Tia beat her previous PB in the women's 100 meters at Jamaica's national trials? Now, this one, people, is a hard one to answer. But I really want to know, what do you think? I've given you all the information. Who do you think would win? And I know you're going to be biased, but try not to be. Be honest. Who would you give the edge in a race between both of these ladies? And let's say the race happens in another month or so. I mean, I don't know about you, but I would love to see a matchup between these two young ladies at World Championships later this year. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Who would win? Tia Clayton or Melissa Jefferson over the 100 meters this year, maybe in another month or so? Of course, Tia Clayton has to get through to the national championships to represent the island, and so does Melissa Jefferson. And questions to ask. Has Melissa Jefferson peaked too soon? A very important question. Now, don't forget to support the channel. Check out our merch store at printify.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and hit the like button. Remember, your royals, kings, and queens. Bless up!